Hello, I'm Josh Lochter. I'm here with Steve Vedder, and we are going to go over some teams to watch heading into the girls' basketball postseason. We'll start with Catholic Central. They've had quite a run here through the regular season, Steve, and led by one great player in Annalise Pickerel. What do you think their chances are of postseason success in Class B?
Unity Christian won the state championship in B 2 years ago. You have to go way back to West Catholic in 1990 for the last Class B champ. This Catholic Central team is better than those two teams. That's how good they are. It's as good a Class B team as I've seen in Grand Rapids in the last. It's go back to at least the 80s, no question. They have one player who the coaches unanimously say is the best player in the area. She's a junior, Annalise Pickerel. She had drawn some Division I interest at the end of her AAU season last spring. She's a 6'2 junior. She can play low post, high post. She plays wing. She's a point guard. She by far is the best player in the area. They have two really good guards, a girl by the name of Heffron and a girl by the name of Barry, who are excellent three-point shooters. Their fourth starter is a transfer from Godwin Heights, Sudan Sanders, who is a scorer. And the fifth player is a freshman, who is the best freshman in the area, bar none. Her name is Taisha Stokes. That's how good Catholic Central is.
The next team we're going to talk about is Grandville. Now, the Bulldogs have kind of been in an okay red battle all season. Do you think that's going to help them in the postseason? And how do you think they're going to fare when districts start?
Well, they had a tough loss against Rockford for the second time, which I think will be a setback for them. Some of their shortcomings, I think, were exposed. They have a real nice player in Lindsay Karpowitz, a four-year kid for them. She's a big center. She's their scorer. And they have some questions after that. They have some experience and an outstanding coach in Charlie DeReich, who really rebuilt the program after Alyssa DeHaan left. They got to the semifinals with them. So he's rebuilt the team, and they're probably our best bet in Class A to go some distance in a state tournament, I would think.
Next team we're going to talk about is Rockford. That is one of those teams that you just mentioned has been tussling with Grandville and other OK Red teams all year. How could the Rams fare in the postseason?
Good question. They're really a strange team. They have absolutely, with all due respect to Rockford, no stick-out players. And their coach, I'm sure, would be the first one to say that. They have no standout players. But they have 6 or 7 players of the same ability, which in girls basketball is a little bit rare. You have 6 or 7 girls who can all take turns leading the team in scoring. They all play defense. Their coach, Jessica Youngers, has done a real nice job with them. If you need a star, quote-unquote star, to get you in a state tournament, they might be lacking, but they have a real nice team, and they have some depth. We'll see where that takes them, where they have all the players with the same ability. It's a coin toss for them.
Next team we're going to talk about is East Grand Rapids. Now, they're a team that maybe was on everybody's radar at the beginning of this season, but they've kind of slowly crept up even your rankings. How have the Pioneers done it, and how are they going to do in the postseason?
They're one of our sleeper teams in the area, no question about it. They have 2 of probably the top dozen players in the area in Liz Ellis, a senior guard, and a girl by the name of Greer Bratsy, who played varsity as a freshman and sophomore, took last year off as a junior to concentrate on volleyball, came back as a senior, and she's really been maybe the glue that's kept that team together. She's had some big games when they've needed it. So when you put those two, that's as good a 1-2 combination as we have in the area, I think, Ellison and this Bratsy girl. So they have some depth. If the other players step up, they could make some trouble in the state tournament.
Lastly, among our 5 teams is Grand Rapids Christian. Now, a couple of their losses have been to East Grand Rapids, but you still think the Eagles have a good chance for postseason success.
I do. That's an interesting team also, the kind that could very well be done on the first night of districts or could make the quarterfinals. They have one really outstanding player in Julia Hillbrands, a senior center. They have some nice other players. When they lost to East Grand Rapids the other day, these players did not step up, which leads me to believe they can be won and out in a tournament, or if the rest of them come through, they could very easily be a quarterfinal team. A very interesting team. Coach Al Vandenbosch, of course, has been through this for 20 years. So he's a veteran when it comes to the state tournament. So it'll be interesting to see what they can do if these other players can step up.
Okay, now we've gone over 5 teams who you think have the best chance at postseason success, and we're not necessarily leaving anybody out, but who are some additional teams you think could make some noise in the postseason?
There are 3 or 4 other teams I think that could be interesting, one of which is South Christian. They've lost twice, so far at least, to Grand Rapids Christian and to Catholic Central. Both times, South Christian's best player, Jordan Skinner, was nowhere near 100%. This was early in the season, and she had a stress fracture. And they didn't have her at that time. She's back, they're healthy, and they've only lost 2 games since then. So they're a real sleeper. You also have to like Holland Christian, who lost in last year's semifinals. They have a girl by the name of Carissa Verkijk back, one of the best centers in the area. The experience of having played in the semifinals last year will be valuable to them. I think Byron Center was among the top 3 teams in the OK Green. Glenn Davis has done one of the best coaching jobs in the area this year at Byron Center. They could be a real underdog. So those are the teams that might sneak in there that you might hear something about in the next couple of weeks.
Okay, Steve, thanks for everything. We'll be sure to check out all of your coverage of the postseason online at mlive.com and in the Grand Rapids Press.